Good morning. Good morning. It is such a pleasure to be able to welcome you to the first ever digital edition of Campus Party South Africa. This first edition ever in Africa. And I don't know if you can tell, but I just want to cheer. Wow! It's been such an effort, and so much time and energy and resources has gone into us being able to be here with you today. And I want to just thank you for joining us. It is going to be an amazing 3 days. My name is Sharron McPherson, and I am the founder of Campus Party South Africa, and together with some really amazing people that I'll tell you a little bit more about them later. But I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you. I've been asked to welcome you. I've been asked to take just a few minutes to speak about how we are using the digital platform, which is provided by Campus Party, to really accelerate innovation and learning. And I thought that I would ease into this topic by telling you a story, telling you the Campus Party story. So I have lived and worked in South Africa for the past 25 years. And I teach at the University of Cape Town, and I am also one of the founders of the Center for Disruptive Tech. About 10 years ago, I met the founders of Campus Party Global, and I was going on and on about South Africa, which is my adopted country. And I said to them, if you are ever interested in coming to Africa, I want to be part of the team that helps to bring Campus Party to South Africa. And here we are. And so I'm super excited. I can barely contain myself. So shout out to Paco and Juan Pablo and all the guys at Campus Party Global. We here in South Africa are beyond excited, and it is just such an amazing opportunity for us to be part of this global edition, the first ever in the history of Campus Party, which has been going on around the world on almost every continent for almost 20 years now. Millions of people participating, and this is the first time in history of Campus Party that we are able to participate from Africa, South Africa first. So the Campus Party story in terms of South Africa, for the past 5 years, we have been working on Campus Party and getting together all the amazing people who helped to make Campus Party what it is. We were well on our way to rolling out the first in real life edition of Campus Party when the COVID-19 crisis happened. So we had to disrupt ourselves. And that's going to be one of the themes that you're probably going to hear, not just in the South Africa, on the South Africa stage, but on the global stage as well. You are free to also tune in to the 29 other countries that are broadcasting. I think maybe 30, we've got 31, including South Africa. And this idea of disrupting yourself is going to be part of what I'm going to just spend a minute talking about today. It's going to be a recurring theme. We're in the middle of a global pandemic, and we, of course, all of us would love to be in real life and in person with Campus Party. But when the crisis hit, we were about to launch Campus Party in South Africa, and we partnered with people around the world to say, how do we disrupt ourselves? How do we reimagine Campus Party in the most amazing way so that we can make sure that all of those campuseros around the world are able to continue to collaborate, co-create, innovate together, because that is what Campus Party is all about. The folks that really conceptualized Campus Party 20 years ago wanted to create the world's largest open innovation and technology movement. And that's exactly what they've done. And so we are beyond excited to be part of a global movement of people who are committed to building back better. So Campus Party is all about rebooting the world, and we here in South Africa are all about rebooting South Africa and rebooting the African continent, as well as being partners with those around the world who are interested in working together with us as part of the global community of people who are committed to making things better. So one of the things I also wanted to do during this introduction, in addition to welcoming you and giving you a little peek behind the stage to say, how do we come here to how do we get to this place of this digital edition of Campus Party, was to also just to take a minute to really unpack why now this moment in history is so important for Campus Party. I mentioned that Campus Party is really one of the world's largest technology, innovation, creativity, collaboration movements. People who are involved in Campus Party are not just seers, they are also doers, and that's important. So, you know, we don't want you to lean back and relax during the next 3 days. We want you to lean in, lean forward, have something to write with, have a pen, have your phone, call people, text, tweet, reach out to the speakers, reach out to your friends and family, tell them what's happening, tell them what you're interested in talking more about. Take your ideas further. Use this as an opportunity to reimagine your own selves as part of this global movement of people. So one of the things I wanted to also do, in addition to encouraging you and inspiring you, was to answer this question, why now? For many of us, this has been a very difficult time. Many countries have been on lockdown for months now. I know in South Africa since March, and many businesses have been impacted. There is no one in our society, government, business, school, nonprofits, there are none of us that have been spared from the COVID-19 crisis. We recognize that, and we recognize this as a pivotal moment in the history of mankind. This is also an opportunity. It's been an opportunity for us to take time to reflect, to think about our lives, to think about how we can be better to one another, to be better to ourselves, to be better in business, better in government. How do we reimagine learning? How do we accelerate learning? One of the things that we talked about as the Campus Party South Africa team during the crisis was, how do we, as the Campus Party community, dig deep and reach out to those people who don't have access to electricity, who don't have access to a computer, who don't have access to the internet, and who are not able to participate on these digital platforms. And so we're aware that not everyone who wants to can. So part of what we're going to hack and really start to work on is, how do we not just talk about these problems, but how do we actually solve the issues? That is what Campus Party is about. Campus Party holds the Guinness Book of World Record for the largest social impact hackathon. And we know that in South Africa, there are a lot of things that we want to hack. And so if you are willing to roll up your sleeves and be part of the Campus Party community, and you're interested in hacking some things, this is the right place for you. And you don't have to know how to code in order to be able to do that, by the way. So why now? Why Campus Party now? Why this digital edition is so imperative at this moment in human history, and certainly within the history of South Africa? We were gearing up to really embrace this fourth industrial revolution. I mentioned that I am one of the co-founders in the Center for Disruptive Tech, and we were spending a lot of time with government, with schools, with, universities, across the whole spectrum, helping African society to members of South African society figure out how we were going to respond to this fourth industrial revolution. So we were already dealing with business model innovation, financial model innovation, customer experience innovation, all of the different types of innovation that was really causing market disruptions. And then along came, so we were trying to convince people that we needed to disrupt ourselves and to embrace digital transformation as a strategy for responding to the disruption that we were experiencing in the market. And then COVID-19 happened. And we didn't have to convince anybody of that anymore, because all of a sudden everything is digital. And I want you to think about that during the next 3 days, because there are opportunities that are arising as a result of the disruption that we're experiencing, that's being driven now by a global pandemic. Before, it was being driven by exponentially growing technologies. But we also have the rise of populism. We've got political upheaval. We've got Black Lives Matter movement happening. We've got, in many countries, civil unrest. And so we are dealing with a complex set of variables that will continue to cause us to be disrupted. And our willingness and our capacity to transform ourselves is a strategy for how we're going to learn how to thrive. How we're going to reboot the world is going to be directly impacted by our capacity to lean in, our capacity to disrupt ourselves, our capacity to leave some old ways of thinking and being behind, and to embrace complexity, to embrace uncertainty, and to work together to reboot South Africa. And that's what this is all about. So I wanted to take the last few minutes that I have to thank the amazing group of people who have come together to make this happen. I want to start out with the Future Education Foundation. One of the things that we decided to do as a Campus Party community in South Africa was to launch a Future Education Foundation, because we're deeply concerned about the fact that learning isn't happening everywhere. There are too many people who don't have the capacity to embrace digital, to embrace distance learning, and we're going to do something about it. We're not going to just talk about it. So please join us in the opportunity to make sure that learning is happening everywhere, and you can do that at futureedfoundation.com. I wanted to start off my thank you list by saying, Ilsa Murray, we love you. You are awesome. Without you, this would not be happening. I wanted to also thank Michael and Lynn and all the guys at Rush and Rage. You were already running, really what was the biggest tech event in Africa. And instead of competing with us, you decided you wanted to join. So thank you, because that's the attitude. That's the winning attitude that's going to help us to reboot South Africa. I want to thank JD and Noel and all the folks at Takia Media, Carrie and all the amazing people at Lime Envelope. I want to thank MTS and all the great guys at our tech partners who are helping us to make this happen. John and friends at Brunswell, and special thanks to Kathy Berman, who's always just amazing, and the team at the Innovation Space Consulting. And I want to thank you. Everyone who is tuning in, we appreciate you. You matter. Your voice matters. Stay with us. Stay tuned, because you are going to have the best 3 days ever. It's going to be amazing. We have an amazing lineup for you. So in closing, my wish for you for the next 3 days is that you open your eyes and that you see, that you raise your level of awareness, that you open your heart and you embrace your vulnerability, and you feel, and you are okay with learning new things, because none of us know everything. So be open to new experiences. The most amazing machine on the planet is the one between your ears, that you dig into that imaginarium that is your God-given right to imagine, to create, to be part of this incredible community. Use this to process and to explore where the new opportunities are. And then the last thing I want you to do is use your hands, because you can see, you can feel, you can think, but if you're not willing to use your hands and actually act and do something, well then, right, exactly. You got to act. So that means you got to tweet, you got to talk, you got to do something, you got to make a plan, you got to be involved. We need you. Thank you so much. We love you, South Africa. Welcome to the first ever digital edition of Campus Party. Peace. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Thank you.